My guest today is Jarryd Barnard. He's another fighter heading for the ring on April 5 for the 13th Perth Corporate Rumble. Today we discuss growing up in South Africa, becoming a DJ, rugby, fast cars and his training campaign. Special thanks to Slidemaster Australia and Anomaly DJs, major sponsor of today's guest. And as always, Gobsmack, Sports Mouthguards, MVP Real Estate, FMR Building and Construction, the Red Team's Counterbalance Fitness and the infamous Blues Studio 22, all major sponsors of the 13th Perth Corporate Rumble. And then it comes down to the third.
Okay.
And there's things you can do. Have a look where the judges are sitting. Well, have a look where I'm sitting, and the judges are on the other three sides. They don't sit on my side.
Okay.
So, and it depends how much work you do in front of the judge as well. Because, I don't know, have you ever seen fighting live?
Not a boxing match, no.
No. But,
I've been to watch UFC and things like that.
Yeah. Did you go to the last one?
I've been to two of them that have been in Perth.
Yep. I think it was 221 and, what was it, 30 something? 309 or something we had?
Yeah, it was the Volkanovski Makachev. I went to that one, and then I went to the Dricus Adesanya.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I was so glad he won. He's so hard to fight, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an absolute machine.
It's a weapon. That
South
man.
African people in general are just built different. Like, if you just walk around the streets in South Africa, you're like, wow.
They're just big. They're just big, solid.
Humans.
And because you're an ex-rugby, I remember I played against Pretoria once. Like, this is in the 90s. How bad's that? We played WA. We played against Pretoria. Pretoria, am I saying that right?
Yeah, Pretoria.
Pretoria. Yeah. And I just looked, and I was 17, and I looked, and I was like, we're playing against grown men.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are all, their legs were massive. I was like, oh, this is going to be a painful day. We lost. We got killed. But I just thought, I don't know what it is over there with different, I don't know, something in the food or what it is. But everyone is just solid. Like, no one's ripped. Everyone is just big. Does that make sense?
Yeah, generally big. It's all the meat that they eat.
Is that what it is?
Or the brine. No, I don't know. Something in the water, maybe.
Because you're an ex-rugby player as well.
Yeah.
Did you play at a decent level? I was looking at some photos.
I did. Well,
Let's have a look at see if I can get some of these photos up.
I started playing rugby when I was 7 years old. So, for year one, grade one, I started playing rugby and I fell in love with it.
Oh, there's a picture of Dricus we were looking at there. Is it played in the schools? Like, is it just the sport that's done?
Yes, it's generally rugby, hockey, and netball.
Okay.
So girls play netball, and then the boys would choose between hockey or rugby. But I mean, rugby is definitely one of the most dominant sports.
Yeah.
And as I said, you play from 7, and your dream is to one day play for the Springboks. That's literally everyone's dream, what they strive to do one day.
That's from the South African people, like rugby players that I've spoken to. It's almost like now the pride, because I guess we used to, not really in Perth, but we used to sort of have that for the Wallabies. I know the All Blacks have been always, that is the dream you got to represent. But the Springboks are just as passionate, just as keen to represent their country. That's all they want to do.
And if you look at how many schoolboys are playing rugby at the end of the day, and there's only 15 players that can play in the Springboks, the percentage of you making it one day is so minute. But yet you still have that dream, and you get on the field every Saturday and you play.
Just play as hard as you can, hoping to do it. I'm surprised the Western Force, I know a lot of the Western Force supporters are South African. There's a huge amount of South African supporters there. I wonder why the Force haven't been more popular than they are. Because they play, I mean, the ground they play at, what's it called now? Is it HIF Stadium or something?
Yeah,
HBF?
it used to be called NIB or
NIB?
something.
Yeah, that one down on Lord Street.
Yeah.
And I remember when I used to go, and you just heard the South African accents all the time. I'm surprised it isn't bigger than it is in Perth. I know we're competing against the AFL.
Yeah, I mean...
And the Wildcats, they're doing well.
They're
the basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose if the Eagles and the Dockers aren't going too well, maybe we'll switch back to the Western Force. But you go to the Western Force and you have a look at the players as they're warming up, and they're just different creatures, aren't they?
Yeah. I've never really got into the whole AFL scene or the basketball scene. I definitely respect it, how fit those guys need to be and the contact they make. But yeah, rugby is just different.
Yeah. I'm not an AFL fan.
Okay.
I watch the AFLW only because a couple of my mates play in that, the women's one. But yeah, AFL. Everyone's getting excited because the AFL. I should be more excited, but no, I don't care. I'm just waiting for the UFC to come back on. So there's a lot of UFC on the TV now, isn't there?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
But do you stream it? Like, do you?
I've got a sneaky link that I
I understand what you're saying. I think we've all got this. I can't drop $80 on a card,
No.
and then watch it from 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and then expect the kids not to come in and interrupt me during that morning. It's pricey.
No, all the money that I save using a sneaky link, I can put towards the ticket when the UFC does come here, because those are like $700, $800 tickets.
Pricey, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're an expensive day.
But so worth it.
You reckon?
It is 100% worth it.
Do you know there's a guy, and he is selling the mat from the first UFC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know?
No, I didn't know that.
I did some research on this. After a UFC event, apparently the mat is deemed a biohazard, which you could just imagine. Imagine the carnage on that. Oh, it'd be horrible. And they have to destroy it. They have to burn it. Anyway, it was 221. Let's see if I can find a link while I'm gas bagging here.
As if someone's selling that.
He is. And, mate, he has been... Hang on, I'm just have a look. I'm not going to say where it is in case. I'm pretty sure it's still here. No, it's not here. Can I log into this thing? Hang on, how do I sign in? I don't know what my sign in is. Anyway, he was selling the mat. Where's saved? I don't even know how to use Gumtree, for God's sake. How am I doing? Hang on, where are we? Watch list. See? There it is. It's still there.
No ways.
Complete UFC 221 floor canvas, Perth UFC.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
I know AirAsia was a sponsor. If you have a look at it, though, how long ago was UFC 221?
Would have been a while ago, I'm
About
sure.
7-8 years? It's been... Hang on, let's have a quick look. That's going to get me. UFC 221. Let's have a look what year that was. 2018. I was 7 years. Geez, yeah. 7 years ago.
Jeez, Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold.
Do you remember that knockout?
No, I don't think I was too heavily into the UFC at this point in my life.
Jeez, Yoel Romero nearly took Luke's head off. But, okay, so it's been 8 years. Where are these photos? How do you go through these photos? So that's it. So he's got it. And that's obviously blood from Rockhold.
Wow.
I know. But my concern, this is my concern with it, is... This has been rolled up in a shed in Scarborough. Imagine what it smells like when you open it up.
Oh, my word.
That would be rough. Oh, look at that.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
is rough as guts.
Wow.
I know.
I just can't think of that as a collectible.
What would you do with it?
Well, who would buy it?
I thought about it many times.
Oh, you thought about it?
I thought about it. The price is going up and down. Would you, although if you had that cut into a square, say, I don't know, about the size of, a matchbox, or say the size of a phone, and put it in a glass perspex, container, those little things they press cards in.
Yeah.
Would you have it? Would you go, I own a bit of the UFC?
Okay, I like that idea. I think that could work.
I did work it out. I did get the actual size of it and worked out how many actual squares I could get out of it. Yeah, and it works out if you did it and you sold each square in the plastic for like $1.13 or something, you'd break even.
Shit, okay.
I know.
You could create a like-for-like NFT as well and put it on OpenSea.
NFTs, are you into those? You into crypto?
I'm into crypto.
Really?
I do enjoy crypto.
We have had a bit of a drop off in the last week has been a bit tough. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
What do you invest in? Tell me that. Tell me what's your go-to.
Never Bitcoin. Although
Have you ever had Bitcoin?
No. I wish I had. I wish I got in sooner.
I had 2.
You had 2.
I had two. No, don't worry. The story doesn't end well here for me. I had two. I bought two when they were $600.
You're kidding me.
Kid you not. And for me, so I put down $1,200 and I bought two. And I was like, let's see where this thing goes. And I know. Anyway, and then they got up to like $2,000. And I went, holy dooly, I have made a ton of money here. Sold for $4,000, two of them.
You don't have diamond hands?
You know what? I actually don't feel bad about it.
Okay.
It's thinking that they're worth $300 now, $300,000. Oh, that hurts. That's a renovation right there. Yeah, that hurts a little, but I don't feel bad. It could have been worse. I bought them at a time I couldn't afford it, and I could have lost $1,200, which would have killed me.
It's always hard to say, I should have kept it, I should have kept it. But
beautiful.
if you make money at the end of the day, then you're still winning, aren't you?
Yeah, that was fine. It was buying us. I think I bought a car or something, quality car for $4,000, as you can imagine. Yeah, so, but you hear stories of people that spent $72,000 on a pizza. Imagine that. Imagine saying, I just spent $800 million on a pizza. Oh, imagine.
What fascinates me is that story about the guy that threw his hard drive away, or his wife did, or something.
Is that the guy looking through the tip?
Yes.
Is that still going on?
It's still going on. Apparently he's bought the tip now. He's bought a section of the tip, I believe. I could be wrong, but...
And he's
still going for gold. Yeah.
Would you... Oh, imagine if that did happen, and then you come back, and then someone like during the night has gone. Surely there'd be people there just scrounging through that thing, and where's his hard drive?
Yeah.
But then you need the key. It's not like you just get the hard drive; you get the money off it, the Bitcoin off it.
Yeah, I've got no idea how those old hard drives would have worked. Because that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Didn't you used to get Bitcoin by solving maths problems or something? Isn't that where it first started?
I'm not 100% sure.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. That's no. I don't have a wallet. I just go through CoinSpot or Coins something or other. That's easy enough. And then I just watch it go as high as 10,000, then as low as 2,000, and I don't know. By the time my kids turn 18, hopefully it's
that's good. I feel like everyone these days is into crypto, and you'll ask them, how much did you invest? And you'll go, I put about $10 into this, $10 into that, 50 into that. I'm like, are you really invested into crypto?
Yeah, just punting.
Yeah.
It's like buying a lotto ticket, isn't it?
No.
So to be a true investor, it has to be up in the thousands.
I would say so. I don't know if this is great financial advice, but...
Come on, financial advice expert here. Dump it all in crypto, people. That's what he said.
No, well, there was a stage of my life where I just thought, if I have money in my account, I'm probably going to spend it, so I might as well just buy some crypto with it, and at the end of the day, at least I'm not going to touch it in that account.
Yep.
So I was saving progressively, and invested early enough. Yeah, it's doing all right.
Does that fund your love of fast cars? That's a fancy car you rocked up in. You know what? You weren't even here, and I heard that car go down the street. You missed the house, didn't you? You had to turn around.
I did, yeah.
And I went, okay, I know he's here. And he's early, which I do like. And I just went, I thought I didn't know what you were going to turn up in, but I was thinking, I bet you it's a little sporty number.
I picked that car up last week, Monday. So I just got it. My car actually got written off in January.
Jeez.
I was on my way to a boxing training before Corporate Rumble, and it was early. It must have been about 7:30 in the morning, and the light went green, and this lady, she had just finished work at the hospital. She's a nurse, and she just went straight through the red light and took the whole nose of my car off.
Were you turning, or were you going straight?
I was turning, so she would have T-boned me if I never braked quick enough.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
Happened so. Where was that?
Joondalup area.
Oh, okay.
Just coming off Mitchell Freeway.
Happened so quick.
Yeah.
There is some carnage on the roads lately.
I know.
Like a lot. Like way more than I've ever seen before.
I know. People drive angry these days. It's like drive angry and drive badly.
Oh, yeah, some bad drivers out there.
Specifically in Perth.
Really we can't drive to save our life, mate. People defend it. Like all the Perth people go, we can drive. You go, no, we can't. I'm from here and we cannot drive. And I know because I get furious while driving.
Yeah.
Do you think it's got anything to do with all the safeties that are in cars now? Because I got a new car. I mean, it's not a fancy car. It's a MUX. And it's got like all these sensors and cameras. And when you ever get near something, it like beeps and it does God knows what. And then I get in an old car and drive, and I nearly hit stuff. And I've only had that a couple of months. Like, no joke. Those bins that I moved? Yeah, I nearly hit those this morning. I took the other car.
How hard is it reversing without a rear?
Hard now.
Yeah, it's hard.
The thing is, I've never had one. That was the first time I've had it. I only had that car 6 months.
Okay.
And now, like, because you get like within a millimetre with a reversing camera, and it's got a bull bar on as well, and I have not. I think I'm a good driver, but I have not adjusted to that bull bar, and I have ruined a pot plant or two out the front. Just bang straight into it. Whoops. The thing's screaming at me, saying, you're going to hit something. I said, no, I'm not. I know this car, but I do not know that car. Do you think maybe that's it? Do you think it's all the sensors?
Yeah, it could be. It could be, definitely.
You got sensors on that? What kind of car is that?
That's an Audi RS3.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's been a dream car of mine since I was a little boy in South Africa.
Any speeding tickets in that thing yet?
Not yet. I only had it a week, so. But I
They'll
mean,
come.
my thing is not really. I don't have the money to pay for huge fines and all the demerit points. So my theory is just go 0 to the speed limit really quickly and then get off.
Oh yeah. That gives you enough. Gives you enough, a bit of a thrill.
Yeah, 100%.
I did see on the weekend, last weekend, I went down to Albany for a wedding, and some guy overtook us while we were driving, sitting on about, 110, 112 in 110k, and he's going past us, and he's just gunned it, like he must have been going 130 past us. And unfortunately for him, just up ahead, speed camera, and we saw it flash. And I was thinking, this guy has obviously, there's people in the car. He shouldn't have been going that fast, but there was people in the car. Probably had someone nagging him in the passenger seat. Kids just going nuts in the back. We've all been there. And he's just like, I just got to get there so I can get out of the car. And he's kicked it in the guts. And he goes, all right, now I'm looking down the barrel of $500 fine and double demerits. So he's probably going to drop about 8 points. Oh.
Jeez, like, what a waste.
That hurts so much. That'd hurt. Imagine what you could spend that $500 on.
I know.
Oh,
I know. It's really. I have never got a speeding ticket in Perth before.
Really?
Never. No.
Is it because you can't get up to any decent speed because the drivers are so bad?
No, I generally just stick to the speed limit.
No, you got to. And if you're on the road for work, you'd see a lot more of it. Like a lot more of what people like driving at different hours of the day.
Man, you talk about carnage on the roads. In sales and driving around, I'm obviously in all these different areas. And the things I see on the road at like obscene times, like 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the afternoon, like cars on fire on the side. I promise you, I watched this BMW in Vic Park. It was on the side of the road. It caught fires as I was driving past, and it obviously caught the fuel tank caught light, and poof, it just blew up. Absolutely insane. I saw.
You don't see that stuff in South Africa?
I actually have never seen that. No,
because my impression of South Africa is, it's just like, you know how the news portrays it. They love drama, and like, I know this isn't the case, and I've got a couple of South African friends that pulled me up on it for making a joke once. From what the news tells us, it's carjackings and it's just fighting the whole time. When it's not, some of the most beautiful countryside I've ever seen is down that way.
You've been to South Africa?
I haven't. When I say I've seen, I've got to say photos.
Okay.
I've been to Zimbabwe, which is now called Rhodesia. Is that correct? Is that right? I got that wrong.
I've got no idea.
Okay.
I've never. A lot of my heritage and family is actually from Zim, but I've got no idea about what happens there.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
No, I went Zimbabwe up to Kenya, so I sort of did the middle part of it because it was a bit dicey around the bottom.
Yeah.
And then like up to Zaire, which is now the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah.
And some guy, when we got there, someone had just been caught poaching gorillas. And it was, it's time to get out.
Yeah.
That is street justice there.
Oh, geez, any sort of poaching.
like marching them down the street and people whipping them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's rough. But, yeah.
Community justice system. It's pretty
It's actually
hectic.
good.
Yeah.
No, it's not good. No, beating someone with a stick isn't good. That's not what I'm saying. But I think it's more effective.
Well, they're scared to commit crimes because they kind of know what the repercussions are at the end of the day, yeah.
And would it be a family pride thing as well? Because, they say, you shame your family kind of thing.
I suppose it would.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, South Africa, as far as I know, it's not like that where you're busy beating someone and stick with a in the road.
This was Zaire. This was up the top.
Yeah.
I'd speak highly of South Africa. They produce Driekus du Plessis, so I can't fault those guys.
They say he fights like an Afrikaans person that's had too many brandies. Yeah, he's an absolute machine, that guy.
Oh, jeez. What are we talking about? Bad driving in Perth. Yeah, there's just carnage on the roads.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what keeps you on the road so much? What do you do for work?
So I work for a company called Scope Business Imaging.
Scope.
It is, I'm a business development manager. So I basically walk around, go from business to business, and understand more about their, call it for a fancy term, IT problems, but specifically I want to understand what printer they're using in the business, so big office printers.
The big A3, or even bigger than that.
Big A3s, big A0 plotters as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, wouldn't say it's a glamorous job at all, but I've learned an unbelievable amount since starting there, just in regards to sales. So being able to walk into the right business, find out who the right person is, speak to them, ask them the right questions, and obviously come up with a strategy to help solve their issues.
Okay. Being able to identify that, or not identify, but being able to find the right person to talk to, that's the key. How often have you got questions and then you can't? This is me. If I've ever got any questions, I normally take 6 months to find the right person. But that's something that you can transfer as well into, I suppose, different roles if you ever did decide to move on.
Yeah, well, they talk about the printer industry. They say if you can do well selling printers or being in the printer industry, you can do well anywhere in whatever field of sales you're in. So that was almost left a marketing agency job, which was amazing. I learned a lot there, and I just obviously never really knew how to sell. So I put myself in the deep end, and I thought, well, let me learn some new skills here. And been there almost a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and it's been really good. It's been a great change for me.
How did you go getting into sales? Because from what I hear, it's like it's either you're a salesperson or you're not. I'm definitely not. I can't do it. I was just like, if someone wants something, do you want it? No, okay, that's fine. I'm probably the worst. So that's why the PCR never get me involved in the tickets. I couldn't sell those tickets to my life. And, they sold out 6 days. Did you get your hands on tickets this time?
I did. My company, Scope, that I work for, they've booked a table.
Yeah.
So I've got 10.
All locked in?
All locked in, and then I've got 2 tables for mates and family.
Oh, nice.
So
all the South Africans come up. Hey, before I do say it, in case I've got to cut this out, SAFA, is that an offensive word?
No.
Are you sure?
100%.
I need that in writing. Okay.
That's SAFA. Yeah, no, that's, as far as I know, a generalised term, and I've used it before, definitely on all types of socials and things like that. So,
aren't you DJ Saf as well?
Yeah, that's SAFA.
That's SAFA. That's what it was. Yeah, because I never knew, because it doesn't sound, I suppose it's what it sounds like, is SAFA. And I used to work with South Africans that used to call each other SAFAs, but I was never confident enough to drop that one.
Okay, I'll give it to you in writing.
Okay, sign it. Thanks. That's all I need. I'll just keep it in my wallet whenever I use it. It's not like an N-word card.
It's short for South African. I'm a SAFA.
Yeah, I suppose the same as Aussie.
Yeah.
It just sounds different. It doesn't sound bad. It just sounds a bit borderline. Anyway, what were we even talking? Okay, with sales, I'm not a salesperson, but Glenn Austin is, by the way.
Okay.
I don't know how he does it, but he does it. That man's a genius. Are you comfortable in being in that industry? Because not all the time, but often, I guess, if someone says a salesman as opposed to a salesperson, sort of has like connotations to it that it's a little bit of a just a little bit dodgy.
Snake oil.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's not, because there's obviously things people need, and it's letting people know. How have you been received being a salesperson?
Well, I don't want to. I'm not a slimy salesman by any means. I want to solve people's problems. So you have a problem. I'm honestly there to help solve it and fix it. And I think when I come across with that type of attitude, you on the receiving end, you can almost feel that. I'm not slimy.
Not pushing.
I'm not pushing at the end of the day.
You've been a delight today.
Thank you very much.
I suppose that is the key, isn't it, to get people to like you. Has your accent caused any, like, I don't know, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Because I know that sometimes Australians, and maybe more in Perth, is if it's a foreigner, they'll always be a little bit sceptical as well. Do you think that has hindered anything? Not that it should, definitely should not.
No. If anything, I feel like it's actually been a conversation starter sometimes.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows a South African.
Yeah.
You know South Africans, everyone knows South Africans. So, no, it's been all right. It's actually
makes you more memorable.
I feel like it does.
That's it.
It gives you something else to talk about. So I ask you, are you braaiing this weekend? Yeah, I'm having a braai this weekend. Have you ever had a braai before? So it just generally just starts the conversation off.
Yeah.
But obviously I meet people every day. I deal with rejection on a daily basis. I'll get told to fuck off out of a business.
Really?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
People that harsh with you.
Yeah.
They must get approached a lot. I'm not saying that there's ever a right time to talk to someone with that much sass, but still, someone really telling you to fuck off.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I've had someone, I've shook their hand, said hello. It was actually an accountant, and he just wouldn't let go of my hand. I was looking at him, I was thinking, you know, like, let my hand go? Like, what's going on here? And he just went, mate, you need to fuck off. And I was just, yes, boss. I'm out of here. Because that's all I can do, because I'm representing my business, of course. And I almost have like this thing where those are the type of interactions that I kind of like, because I'll go back there a month later and I'll try and get in and try and have an actual chat with them. It's almost like a bit of a challenge for me.
I suppose if someone reacts like that to you, it must mean they're going through something.
Yeah. Maybe they woke up on the wrong side of bed. No one knows what they're dealing with at the end of the day as well. So
that's a big thing, isn't it?
100%.
And I've learnt that recently, is you have no idea what's going on at home for someone.
Oh, 100%.
It is. I suppose like you guys with the PCR, you see people and maybe they're up one day and you just don't know what they're going through. Throw in a bit of fatigue and lack of sleep and an injury. You see why people act like they do down at the... See why Glenn and Nige act like they do down there. Those two boys are under some stress at the moment. This week, I think, would have to be the most stressful week for them, because they're picking the teams and they're picking your opponents, and it is so important that they continue to pick very close, fair fights.
I wonder how it works. Like I've actually been thinking, what are they basing it on? Is it what they see at practice, at training?
Yeah, well, they do. I'll get something up here. I've shown everyone this. This is no secret. So this here's the list of all all the fighters. So obviously they're the females and they're the males. Now I hope I get this right. Nigel's, if any questions about the commission, Nigel's a genius on that stuff. So you have to be within, from memory, it's 3 kilos of your opponent.
Okay.
All right. So if you go down there, where are you there? So you weighed in 85 kilos. Most people will drop between 3 and 5 kilos during the training campaign because they have time off the weights and the amount of cardio you guys do. Yeah. You're going to drop it. But just say you came in at 80 and I came in at 90. That's a 10 kilo difference. And if we were that evenly matched, then what would happen is I could cut weight. I could maybe cut 3 kilos and then you could water load 3 kilos. So suddenly you're 83.
Okay.
And I'm 87, so it's 4 kilos difference. But that's where they'll match you. It has to be based on weight to get through the commission, but they'll also match you on skill. Like, it's not height, it's not anything, because a shorter person can win a fight. Just because you're taller doesn't mean you're going to win, even if you're a lot taller. So that's what they do. That's why they're watching you, and it seems like they're just walking around, but they've got their, especially Nigel, I've seen him, he's got his laptop out or his iPad out,
I've seen that.
and it's just notes upon notes, and they talk about it all the time. I stay out of any of that. Any involvement I have in teams or fights is not helpful, so I stay out of it. So you being in that 85 kilo bracket, that is, I guess, the biggest bracket, the healthiest bracket, because you're going to be looking at anyone from, say, 80 kilos up to probably 90 kilos.
Okay.
Which, when you go down the list there, that's probably 10 possible opponents.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you may have? Anyone? You can say it. Everyone said it.
I've heard you ask this question on the other ones, and I've been thinking about it. But
someone did name you.
Who?
Nah, he named about 4 people.
Okay.
He spoke very highly of you, and he just said that it's a shame that if we did get matched up, because he's such a nice guy and we get along, it was James Calway.
Oh,
yeah,
good man.
I think he is a good man, isn't he?
He's a great
good
man.
on him. Good on you, James. He was in yesterday.
Okay.
So he was thinking maybe because you guys weighed in both at 85.
He's a machine. I told him the other day, I said, you're such an annoying person to spar with, because every time I throw a punch, you throwing one, and it keeps hitting me.
Good counter striker, isn't he?
Great. Very good.
Yeah. But what you guys do after this Sunday, the improvements you make in the next 4 weeks are tenfold on what you've done in your first 4. So,
wow.
yeah. So you'll do well, and they're not going to feed anyone. I got to repeatedly say it, because people, I know what's going to happen on Sunday. The text message are going to come through. So they've set me up to lose. The toughest job on the night, though, is going to be Mason Zewin, because he's fighting Joshua Pryor.
I sparred with him recently. And
Josh Pryor.
Goodness me.
He's good.
He's an absolute machine as well.
He's good.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to... But, I mean, I sparred with, just on the side, with Mason, and he's also a good fighter.
Yeah.
Competent.
I reckon Mason's going to finish it in the first.
I saw his knock. Actually watched the video. He knocked out his
Joe
guy.
Dortona.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit early. That's all right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking when I give Josh a hard time. He knows we've got a bet on with Mason against Josh.
Okay.
So I'm team Mason, and Mongy, who's down at training a fair bit. Yeah, he's all Josh Pryor all day.
So Mongy was blue. Josh is blue.
Yeah.
Blue team. Okay.
Yeah, and Mason was red. So
Mason was red.
That'll be good. I think Mason's just unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen.
And do you think they'll be the main fight of the night?
Don't know.
Is that how they set it up? Is like the big clash is at the end?
Not always.
Not
always. They structure the fights in a very specific order as well. I don't know how they do it, but traditionally females have started. They maybe have the first 2 fights, and then it'll be a couple of the guys. I don't know how they do it. They put heavyweights in at fight 4 last time, and I just thought that's not the best place for them. But it was. Like, it turns out,
Yeah.
Nige and Glenn are I think they're a lot smarter than we think. Not saying that we don't think they're not smart, but they've been in this industry for that long that they see stuff that you can't teach. So whatever they decide to do, I reckon it's gonna be well. They keep it exciting for 15 fights, which isn't easy to do. I mean, we've watched a UFC card with 15 fights, and it gets to the prelims, you just go, oh God, just hurry up and get to the main card. But somehow they managed to keep it going. But there's some big boys in there this year.
Yeah.
They're always exciting, the big guys. Jarryd Chamberlain's back. Quite a few returning fighters. You sparred with any of those guys?
Sparred with Jarryd Chamberlain. He's... Yeah.
Big boy.
I said that to him as well. I just said, man, wow, I don't really want to spar with you again. Yeah. But yeah, he's very good.
He's good. Sweats a lot.
He's just a big.
He's a big unit,
guy.
Isn't he?
He's a big guy.
Good on you, Jarryd Chamberlain. So just getting back to South Africa, because I got to ask you about this. So you were born in South Africa.
Born in South Africa.
Whereabouts?
In KwaZulu-Natal.
Oh, yeah.
A little town.
I have no idea where that is.
Durban, Pietermaritzburg.
Oh, yeah.
I say Durban because everyone knows Durban.
Yeah.
And then moved to Cape Town at the age of 4 or 5. Pretty sure 4 or 5 years old. And
Okay.
I went to school.
What's Cape Town like?
Amazing. Cape Town is beautiful.
Yeah.
So really, I actually went back to South Africa in November last year, October, November. And it is really and truly beautiful. I think it's very different to how I perceive Perth, because Perth is just so flat.
It is, isn't it?
Versus Cape Town, there's just mountain ranges and hills, and it's beautiful. Lots of greenery.
You don't realise how flat Perth is.
Extremely flat.
Yeah. Like, you think if the seas rose by 2 meters, the entire city is done. Done.
It's trouble flying back in from South Africa. I was like, geez, this place is really flat.
Yeah.
And it's like suburbia. All I just see is houses and roofs.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know. It's a shame. It's a shame.
But, I mean, Perth is beautiful. I absolutely love it here.
Are you a beach kind of person?
I'm a beach guy.
Okay.
I like the beach. And, yeah, when I lived in South Africa, we would sometimes go on holiday to Mauritius, which is like white sand beaches. And
where is Mauritius? I saw something on the TV about that the other day.
3.5, 4 hours off South Africa. It's a little island.
West or east of South Africa?
Don't know.
Okay, just off in there somewhere.
Yeah, off somewhere. And I would say that Trig Beach is probably more beautiful than Mauritius.
Really?
Honestly.
But is Mauritius the one that's got like the boardwalks and the houses that sit over the water? Is that Mauritius? What am I thinking of?
Isn't that Bora Bora or something like that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Or the Maldives.
Maybe the Maldives.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too sure. I don't. I travel to Europe, mate, and that's it. That's my one spot. I should expand more on places I've gone, but I haven't.
Not a beach guy?
Look at my skin. I am not good, and my wife is full ginger, and so are my 2 kids.
Okay.
So, yeah, we struggle.
Okay.
Yeah, we do like the beach, but we, from, say, 10:30 until about 4 in the hour, we can't be down there. We just cook. So I think just the the European summers are sort of more for us.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I'm also quite pale and white, and I've got lots of moles and things like that. So my mum's always been screaming at me my whole life to put sun cream on. So it's something that I still do it today.
Good. You got to listen to mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch that sun here. There's some
100%.
Oh, okay. You went to UWA.
Yes.
UW, as the locals call it.
Yeah.
What'd you study there?
I did economics and marketing, so Bachelor of Commerce degree.
I think I've... did I find this morning? What did I find? I saw a story here. Look at you there. That's from a few years back. What's going on there?
Back in the day.
This is during COVID. Just to give everyone you explain this little video to me. What's going on in this video?
I did an interview for BBC News, and it was basically about the impact that coronavirus had and the lockdowns and things like that on students and job careers.
Yeah.
Job opportunities, sorry.
Because there was drums with internships and stuff like that as well.
Correct.
Internships aren't paid, aren't they?
No.
Are they? Okay.
No, they can be, but the ones I've done have never been paid, no.
Look at you there. Baby-faced assassin there. The hair's still wonderful, though. I am jealous of that hair.
I'm blessed with a good hairline.
Full crop of hair. Nice. So, how was it? Because I do understand, because I've been watching, when I went through school, university was the only option. It just seems like that's not the only option now, like a lot of companies are looking for experience. I suppose internships are good because then it's sort of a way to prove that you are interested in the job as opposed to doing it for money, where a lot of people will jump from job to job now for money.
For me, doing internships was about the connections that I made. So was I able to be in a position to meet the owner of the business or the CEO, and perhaps he knew people that even if it didn't work out between us, he could recommend me on to his mates.
Okay.
And I made a lot of really valuable connections through doing internships like this.
Okay. That's such a different world to me. Not saying it's better or worse. It's just it's different. Like it's funny. I come in here and we talk to people for hours and hours. But outside of here, I'd probably have to be one of the most antisocial. Not talk to anyone. I just don't talk to anyone. I just by myself. And doing things like networking, I know that how valuable they are and the benefit of it all. It's just not me. I find it, it's good that people can do it, and it's a massive, massive benefit to business and to, personal growth. I find it like just unnatural for me.
I completely understand what you mean. I suppose there's a natural way about going around connecting with people
Yeah.
and making it like a genuine connection.
That's the key,
It's like
isn't it?
I'm not just going to meet you and send you a request on LinkedIn and try and be your mate
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. Like, no, not like that. But
Yeah. You did send me a friend request quite quickly. Did you? I don't know. Probably. I got tons of them.
I did. I saw your. I saw that you asked us to send you, so you could do some digging.
Oh, I did. I didn't actually find too much on you. There's a couple of people with the same name as you, so I actually couldn't find as much as I'd hoped. But so what are we talking about? We're talking about your networking. That's it. It's being genuine. That's the key, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And people can pick up on bullshit pretty quick, can't they?
I'd imagine so.
You'd hope so.
I can. I mean, if I speak to someone that's not genuine, I could probably pick it up quite quickly, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that now. I think it's because society's changing and everything's about money and image and that. It's a lot of people are. It's trying to weed through all that shit.
Yeah.
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 And social media. Oh, geez, we bag out social media a lot. And you work in it. See, when you mentioned before about digital marketing, I think I come from a generation where putting yourself out there wasn't the normal thing to do, you know, like saying, look at me. But the generation coming through, to be able to compete with the next, you know, once come through, you have to do that. You have to be everywhere. You have to have personal brand and things like that.
That's probably one thing that I'm not very good at. So it is just social media in general and putting myself out there. I think LinkedIn aside, I did try that, and I did try and put myself out there for a bit, but it's just not really me. I'm more of like a face-to-face type of person.
Yeah, that's good. It's more traditional. You probably work in a lot better with, I guess, some of the older crowd as well, being able to do that, because they prefer a face-to-face meeting, and they'll give business to people they like as opposed to people that they don't.
Yes.
So it's only going to benefit you in the job.
That is true.
Speaking of social media, though, you did send me the links here. Just putting yourself out here. Let's get some volume on this bad boy. Where's this thing? This is you DJing.
This was for an event called Your Shot.
Your Shot. Where is that?
So
Fears. Where's Fears?
It was at the Court
Hotel.
Hotel last year.
Yeah.
And essentially Your Shot is just an event that travels Australia and gives people the opportunity to learn how to DJ it's pretty similar to Corporate Rumble. In 8 weeks you learn how to DJ. And
really?
They teach you how to do it.
That sounds great.
And then you get to headline your own event and DJ and use all the skills that you've learned. So
really?
And it was something that I've always...
This is the first I'm hearing. How come I haven't heard about this before? This sounds good.
You should get around it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd love to do that. How many DJs put in a CD and then just push buttons?
Good question. There's probably quite a few of them, and specifically I'd hope not at like events like Tomorrowland, but I believe it happens.
I think I've seen a couple of videos where I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not changing the music. You're doing a lot of sliding and things like that.
Yeah, they're just turning the volume up and down.
Oh, yeah. Is it an art, DJing?
It is. It really, like specifically for this event that I did, you had 25 minutes and you had to put together a set, and it was just all about how creative you can be and putting all your favorite songs into a mix that works.
Yeah.
Because you're not just having a preset recorded, you're actually mixing live.
Really?
So you have to be.
It must be daunting.
I was so nervous. I was unbelievably nervous.
Did you have a few drinks prior?
I had one.
You do have that down pat. That's the key. Oh yeah, that's the key. Is one of the topics like just being able to pump your arm properly?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
that's ballsy. That's really ballsy doing that. Good on you.
It was good. I love to. I suppose that's almost got stuck. Like from my early 20s, like 20 to 23, 24, I didn't really take risks. I kind of just was safe. And I thought, well, that's not who I actually am or who I used to be. When I was younger, I took more risks. And that's what I'm trying to get back to in life at the moment. So doing this, bit of a challenge, doing Corporate Rumble. It's all about challenging yourself.
It is.
Learning new skills.
It is amazing what we used to do at like 18 to 21. How old are you now?
27.
27. Say 18 to 21. The amount of things that you did, you tried, you didn't care whether you failed or not. You said, I'm just going to do this. And it just disappears. You throw a wife and kids into that mix, mate, and suddenly you go, oh, yeah, I like a bit of security.
What was something that you did back in the day?
Jeez. Well, I think it was just because I headed off when I was 18. I think it was just travel.
Okay.
When I say travel, I went to the UK to play rugby when I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah, I got hurt, though, when I was 19 and my career. You know, I'm one of those people that walk around and goes, if it wasn't for this knee injury, you know, I would have been one of the greats. I wouldn't have been. I was good, but I wasn't great. Does that make sense? I think it was just that. It was just, you just back yourself in. You do stuff like running with the bulls and all that. And I don't know, you just get older. And for me, like I used to live a wild life and no responsibility. Like ended a lot of relationships and probably friendships because I was being a dickhead. And I don't like, you know, condone that. Like there's a lot of things I wish I wouldn't have done. But I got to the point where I went, okay, I got to pull my head in and I got to settle down.
Yeah.
And I was lucky. I had a girlfriend who's my wife now, so that sort of brought me back down. But with that security, like buying a house, I also it's weird. Like I developed a fear of flying. I can't fly. I know, it's so strange.
You're kidding me.
Nah. And because I used to fly, this is how bad it was. I used to always book flights. This is after 2001 on September 11 because no one was on the plane and everyone was too scared to fly. So there's some cheap flights going. Where we going? So that was my day of the year to start my holiday. And yeah, it was weird. I came back from a around the world trip, just doing stupid stuff like in Las Vegas, and then I came back and I went, okay, no, I'm going to settle down now. And then playing it safe, all the responsibilities come in, which has been a huge downside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did get on a plane about 12 months ago, the first time in 15 years. I got on a plane, terrible. It was horrific.
What is it that scares you?
I don't know. That's the thing. I
Just
don't
the
actually
thought of being in a pressurized cylinder in the air could drop at any point in time.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't actually know what it is. Like, because I know how safe flying is.
Okay.
Like, I do know. And your chances, I mean, doing my job, the job I do, and just driving a car, it's going to be a lot more likely to get hurt. But I don't know. I've just got this. I just cannot shake this. I tried EMDR. I think I spoke to Kiri about that, where you look at the lights and try to reprogram. But just always trying stuff. I ended up using medication, which wasn't the right thing to do.
To fly?
To fly. I take these tablets.
Valium.
I don't know what it was. I think it was, I said to the guy, listen, I need something because if it goes bad, it's going to go real bad. And my doctor's like, I got you, Brad. I got you hooked up. And he gave me this stuff and he goes, try it out. Like, he gave it to me 2 weeks prior and he goes, try it out before you go. Just to see how quick it kicks in. And, you know, so I took her here one night and it was 15 minutes, almost exactly 15 minutes. And then it came on real quick like a wave. And I'm like, get me on a plane. Where are we going? I was fine. And then on the day, I was like, yeah, I'm nervous. I'm going to take this. And then they called. They said, all right, seats 1 to, I don't know, 800, wherever we were sitting. You're boarding now. And I went, stuff this. I'm going to go 2. Bang. I took 2. And I kid you not, they'd just gone down, and then I stood up, and they said, we're sorry to announce there is there's a delay. There's a delay. And my wife, lucky she doesn't listen to these shows, my wife looked at me and she goes, have you taken them? And I said, no. And she goes, you dickhead. She goes, how many did you take? And I said, 1. She goes, how many? I said, 2. And they had to assist me onto the plane.
No. You're paralytic.
Oh, mate, I don't know. My body just wasn't working. I could see my legs and I was like, go on, move. And they just wouldn't move. So, but if someone pushed me, they'd move. Anyway, and I got on the plane and I thought I'd start small. I did the direct Perth to London. So I did 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I sat there in my seat and my family don't sit with me just in case. I said, no, just leave me alone. And I put the TV on, you know, with the little plane, and I watched the plane. If I could focus on the plane, I watched it for 7.5 hours. Didn't get up, no drinks, no food, not to toilet, just watched that plane for 7.5 hours.
Oh, my word.
That's all I could do. That was the only thing that kept me calm. And I got there, and it was 5 a.m, and when we landed, I just had an outpour of emotion. and I had tears, and I was pumped. Like, I was pumped. And I got up, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And I just couldn't. I had all this energy, and this old duck next to me was looking at me going, what the hell's wrong with this guy? I'm like, yeah. And it's 5 a.m. Everyone's jet lagged. Everyone's tired. And I just wanted to party. So.
And you've just come out of this like zombie phase.
Yeah, it just as soon as we hit the ground, you know, they hit the brakes and then they come off the brakes. As soon as we came off the brakes, I went, I've done it. I'm a hero.
Faced your fears.
Yeah, and
That's
then
awesome.
we had to get back about 3 months later, and that was rough. But anyway, besides that, how do we even get on to this flying? It's responsibility. Where do we start that? We started because we're talking about you here. DJ, that's Safa. DJ, still feel weird about saying that. Would you go back to doing this? DJing?
Yes.
What's this thing called? I'm actually going to look into this.
Your Shot.
Your Shot.
It was an
Link in
amazing experience.
And this thing travels all around. Really?
For 8 weeks, you learn how to DJ.
Your Shot. Hang on, there we go. I've got a link in here. So it's Your Shot AU, everybody. If you're on Instagram, on the gram, followed by you. That's going to be followed by me now. I'm going to follow up on that. That sounds great. What are the people like that DJ with you? Is there any 47-year-old balding gingers DJing?
You'd be surprised.
And then one of those hats, something to cover up this sky.
Very diverse group of people.
Good people?
Old, young, good people.
That's what you need.
A lot of fun. The event that you do it's over 2 days at the court, so it's over a Saturday and a Sunday, and the contestants are split evenly over the next 2 days, and then essentially
it's a competition as well.
It's a competition. So the
two teams.
No,
is it 2 teams or everyone individuals? Okay,
individuals.
Yeah.
And over 2 days, so they'll choose a winner from day 1 and a winner from day 2, and then on the Sunday, those two will battle it off at a main stage.
It. Yeah, really.
And then
sounds awesome.
The winner had the option to, you basically win an opportunity to DJ at a massive festival.
So you win a contract as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this so much.
One of them was Croatia Yacht Week. You get to, they all expenses paid to Croatia, and then you DJ at Yacht
To
Week.
get a boat there. I can't fly there. Oh, I better not win. I might have to throw the final so I don't have to get on a plane to Croatia. That sounds awesome. You would get exposed to some great music as well.
Yeah.
Some beats.
Some tunes.
Are you into, is this kind of your jam? Is this kind of, not duv music, but like the house kind of?
Yeah, I pride myself on my ability to plug in an aux at any point in time and throw down some fire tunes.
I've been doing the tunes. I'll just let everyone know. I don't touch social media. If anyone's seen me on Instagram, I've got like one post, and it's me and CJ Rose, the MC from the great man, CJ Rose. Everybody, everyone's in for a treat when CJ Rose is on the mic. And I completely forgot what I was going to say then. Oh yeah, I'm doing you know how we're releasing the fighter profiles for the Perth Corporate Rumble? Have I got it here? Like these ones, these things here.
Yes.
I'm a bit behind time. I'll get on top of it. But I've been allowed to choose the music for this stuff.
Okay.
Can you tell?
Yes.
It doesn't fit in with any other music. So that is me. I'm sorry. I just put in music that I like. So when it comes time if you've got a special request, because I'm going to be dropping the rest of the fighters in before Sunday. So if you've got a specific song, just let me know, and I'll put that in there. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick one of my bangers, and there's so many bangers.
I think your bangers are good enough.
Thanks, mate. I do appreciate that. What song would you want with your fighter profile?
Surprise me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll come up with something great. I always will. So getting back to this Your Shot, because this is actually, I can't believe I didn't see this, but this sounds fascinating to me. How often do they run these things?
Once a year.
Is that it?
Once a year, and as I said, they travel. I believe they've actually extended it over to New Zealand as well. So they'll travel. They'll go to Brisbane, to Melbourne, to Sydney, and they'll train them all for 8 weeks, and then they'll throw this big competition over 2 days, and then they'll move on to the next location. So it's a huge operation.
It would be.
Yeah.
Big personalities there?
Big personalities. big.
Good or questionable? Some are good. Some are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everyone's got good intentions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there some what would you say, prima donnas in the DJ scene?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's as I said, diverse group of people, all lovely, but yeah, they can put on a show, whether it's on the decks or just in general.
Can someone steal your music? Has that ever happened? Like, can they do that? Does that happen? Because using other people's music, if there's some kind of lead-in hook and someone else has used it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, think about one of the most popular songs at the time, and then you'll hear that throughout the whole day. Everyone will at least have that song in their set play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What if you just did like a 90s throwback, just classic hits from the 90s?
The great thing about that is you can play whatever music you want.
Really?
Golden oldies, house, techno, hardstyle. You can play Egyptian music if you wanted to, whatever you choose.
Okay. And are people supportive? Because I saw that crowd there. Are they your crowd? Like, are they the, how do you say, are they the people that are also taking part in your shot? Or are they just like randoms?
It's up to you as well to sell tickets to that.
Okay.
So a lot of that is my support network, and then it would just be people around, because it does pull in a lot of spectators throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an 8-week course.
8-week
Full
course.
time?
Every week. Every single week for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, okay. So they do it like on a weekend or something like that, do they?
It depends. It's literally Monday to Saturday, and they will fit you in with a slot that works for you.
Okay.
And then there's one like proper DJ allocated to every class.
Is there a lot to it?
To DJing?
Yeah.
I suppose, to be competent. Yeah. There's quite a lot, quite a few buttons. I mean, if you look at a DJ deck, there's so many buttons. They're all different coloured, and it's pretty overwhelming at first.
Yeah.
And then also the next part to that is, if you've got one song playing on the left-hand side and one on the right, how do you bring them together so that they're in sync?
Oh, you match up the beats.
Beat matching, yeah.
Beat matching.
That's like your first lesson that you learn when you do your shot.
Okay.
And I'm lucky enough because I had friends like my sponsor, XIII, who is a DJ. So he got to give me extra lessons on the side.
Okay.
Which was cool. If only he could box as well. That would give me some extra boxing lessons.
That is interesting. Oh, I'm glad I asked you about that. I might actually look into that. Maybe send me up there on the decks. What do you reckon? Have you DJ'd since?
Yes, I have.
Just at parties? What are you doing?
I did one gig at, what's the name of this place? It's the new venue in the city. I can't remember the name.
Mate, that's not my. I'm not one to tell you about.
Stories. It's called Stories.
Okay.
I did one on New Year's Eve. I did a Stories set.
Okay.
To a couple people eating their dinner. So that's where you start.
Oh yeah, you do. But that'd be good. That'd be. I'd enjoy, because I often thought, we've got the Civic Hotel down the road here, and they got a piano there. It's out of tune. It's terrible. But it'd be. I'd always thought one day I'd love just to get in there and you play in front of like 10. Barflies, and you put on a performance like Elton John at Wembley, and because I don't care. I'm at the age where I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, if someone doesn't like me, I'm like, okay, yeah, that really affects me.
That's
one less person to talk to me. That sounds great. But yeah, I've often thought, I'd love to do that. Just put on a show.
You should do it. Life's just too short.
You
should do it.
I've been playing it safe for too long, my friend. I think I have. I've always thought about the Perth Corporate Rumble doing it, but I know I'll get injured.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, my body. I know you got Paul King there, who's 56, but my body's copped a beating over the years.
Okay.
And I'm paying for it now. I don't think I stretched till I was about 40. So that'll teach you. Fast cars. This is going back to some of the stuff you gave me. Moving on from DJing. Fast cars. You found a Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
You into the Formula One?
Yes, I'm into the Formula One, and the only reason that I actually started watching it a couple of years ago was because of the Netflix documentary series that actually got me into it.
Didn't they follow? I haven't seen it, but I've seen like the shorts. Is that where they follow different drivers?
Yeah, behind the scenes at every race, they will choose a team to follow, and they'll go in deep, and they'll give you a really good view of what actually happens. And
how's the cost in Formula One?
my goodness, unbelievable. We're talking about big operations. Imagine managing that and the logistics behind all of it.
I don't know if this is true, I heard that a set of tyres can be upwards of $80,000. Would that be correct?
Good question. I don't know, but it sounds possible. It's
Imagine
unbelievable.
that. Imagine dropping 80.
Wow.
Geez, that's only half a Bitcoin for some of us. But
It's a lot of money.
It's do you play like any games and any gaming, that kind of thing, with Formula One?
Not Formula One. Back in my day, I was a Fortnite addict.
Really?
I was specifically during COVID, when just sitting at home, I'd hop on my Xbox and play Fortnite. And
never played it, but I heard it's addictive.
Very addictive.
Yeah,
it's great. I've given it up completely for like the last couple of years.
Go cold turkey. I had a Grand Theft Auto addiction there for a while.
And you still play?
Nah,
not at all.
No, I do play NBA Jam, like the old one, the old Xbox 360 NBA Jam, and just like same player, Larry Bird. That's all I do. Bird 3-3.
Do you play online against other people?
No, I think if I can, I've never gone online to play, because I think that will mean that I've got a problem. If I don't go online, I can convince myself I don't have a problem. One of my mates, the only reason I bring that up, one of my mates, Sam, I'm going to name him, he has the full Formula One seat set up, and he plays it. Yeah, and he plays it in front of like the massive TV, and I had a go. And like he was changing through gears, got the paddle shift, I think they're called. Doing that, he was going really well, just dominating. And I thought, that can't be. I'm good at Mario Kart. I got this under control, mate. I put this Formula One car into the sand like before the end of the straight where you take. I couldn't get off the sand. It must be a pig of a thing to drive.
So sensitive, those. I've been on them as well. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I thought I'd be very good at it, but I was in the wall the whole time.
But not in Fortnite. Hey, with Fortnite, I saw some of the ways that, like, obviously a lot of parents were kicking up a fuss saying, our kids addicted to this stuff, and spend all our money on skins and God knows what. But they did this thing where this is what I read, I don't know if it's true, but they had it where they work out the best times, and if they get the kids playing at a certain hour of the day, they're more likely to play for longer. You don't interrupt them. And they pretty much did it like, say for Perth, they had a competition where they'll start a new tournament. They have tournaments in there or something.
Yeah,
they start a new tournament at 3:55 or something, and they said that's a specific time because kids are back home from school. And then they worked out when the kids are going to have dinner, and they deliberately gave it a 20-minute break for something, for some God knows what, and then to get the kids back on it afterwards. Like the parents say, all right, if you come and have dinner, you can go back to doing whatever. And I think marketing-wise and business-wise, that's genius. But when you think about it, it's not. Like it's not healthy. Ethically, it doesn't seem right to get young kids into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's as you said, it is extremely addictive. Like, you'll be playing a game, and obviously everything's online, so you're playing against real people.
And it changes all the time. Not like the days of Pac-Man when you had one screen and you had to do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, well, essentially there's just one big map. It's exactly the same, and you'll jump out of a bus. It's a big bus with a balloon on it, and you'd fly to some part on the map, your favourite part on the map. You'd load up and you'd go find some other people and try and kill them.
And that's what the whole game is.
Yeah, and the last man standing is the winner.
And what does the winner get? Anything? Is there like not Robux or I don't know what that is?
No, you just get like sometimes there is, but majority of people just want the dopamine hit of winning the actual fight or the match, and then you essentially just get a stat and you've won X amount of games.
It's amazing what we want, isn't it?
I know.
It's amazing we want a little star on a screen to say, look what I've done.
I know.
That's scary to think what gaming and all that's going to do to the next generation with that constant dopamine hit that they need.
I know, yeah.
Like if you didn't get it from gaming or social media, where are you going to get it? Because these kids aren't playing sport that much anymore.
No,
No.
No. I heard you speaking about it with, not too sure who it was.
Kiri, she had a lot to say about it.
Oh, okay.
A lot.
We're just talking also about how people these days are just becoming quite soft in general. People
Oh,
are just
yeah.
soft. I know. Couldn't agree
Can't say
more.
anything.
Yeah.
Can't say anything to people anymore. I think it's because if you play a victim, you can get what you want. You look at it in the workplace. Someone plays the victim. Oh, here, have a promotion. That'll make you feel better. You know? Have another one. Go on, get up there. Don't work hard. But sometimes I often heard that if you can't get rid of someone, you promote them. That way it gets rid of them and it's no longer your problem.
Wow.
I've seen it. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me, I've seen it. Anyone over 40 will know exactly what I'm talking about. Not going to name any names, but I know who you
What,
people.
it just gets too heated and they can't keep up, or?
Sometimes it's when someone may be not competent in their job, but it's actually hard to fire people now. Like, remember the old days where people go, no, I didn't like you, and you're no longer required. You just got fired.
Yeah.
You just sucked it up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. Got fired for Hungry Jacks for having a bad attitude when I was 15. I didn't go complain. I had a terrible attitude. I deserve that. But yeah, I think it is people just getting soft.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you do play the victim, you get what you want.
Yeah, I don't know how people have that mentality at the end of the day.
I think if a group, like a country or something, that had that level of discipline and could take criticism and could take, what we used to dish out, if it came down to wartime or something, you just think, oh, these guys are, you got a massive... The East must be just looking at the Western world thinking, just keep going. Just keep going,
Yeah.
We're just biding our time.
Yeah, 100%.
And then all of a sudden,
yeah,
I don't have people... From what I hear... Oh, no, I won't say it. I won't say it because the person I was saying about knows exactly who I'm talking about. But, yeah, I don't know. What could you do to stop this softness with people? How could you change that, you reckon? What are we going to do? Because we can't bring in discipline. We can't because we get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to it, to be honest with you.
It's got to bring your kids up right. Hopefully start in the next generation.
I think that, like, I speak about it with my girlfriend all the time because she's definitely the girl I want to marry and start a future with and things like that. So
nice.
We're getting things right now when we start talking about kids and the things that we'll do to bring our kids up one day, and that is very strict parents. Obviously giving them enough leeway to do the things that they need to do, but just bring them up correctly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like the traditional South African household, correct?
Yeah.
Which tends to be quite strict.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because the parents aren't around as much anymore, maybe. Every house has got to be a 2-income family just to get by nowadays.
Yeah, true.
Maybe. I don't know. So you're planning kids, are you?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, like soon? You still got to get married first.
We'll get married first.
You feeling hot? It's getting a bit warm in here.
Yeah.
Let's get a bit of AC going on. Nice, I like it. How long have you been with your partner?
A year and a bit.
Okay. Australian girl?
No, South African girl. Imported from Bloemfontein.
Imported.
It was actually, it's really strange, but I met her it's a place called Boktown. It's an event for all the South African people to get together and watch the rugby.
Okay.
The South African rugby when it was on.
So she's a rugby fan as well?
Oh, she's all South African people are rugby fans, True. So I met her there and, never looked back.
Is she going to come on the night?
Yes.
Oh, nice. What did she think about you getting in there?
In the beginning, she didn't like it at all. But I just said, I just need to do this for me. And she's been very supportive.
How would you feel if she said, I want to do it?
I'd give her the opportunity. She's a machine.
South African girls, I wouldn't mess with those. South African Kiwi girls, they at least you know where you stand. That's why I like South African and Kiwi girls.
Yeah.
And drive me insane. But you always, I think, making a horrible noise. I don't know what's going on with that aircon. We're going to catch fire. God knows what that noise is. Anyhow, we'll just work through it. You know where you stand with them. That's what I like.
Yes.
They can be firm but fair.
Firm but fair, 100%.
Firm but fair. But yeah, if something's not right, they'll tell you. Oh, they will tell you. They're not going to sugarcoat it.
No, 100%. And obviously, doesn't matter if she's South African, but in general, South African women or Kiwi women are very respectful.
Yeah.
Understand. Yeah.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
I know. I agree. I don't want to get into politics here and talk.
Oh, no.
Place, but
Only good things. Only good things I'm saying about them. Well, my wife's a country girl, and she's sort of the same way. So
yeah.
Can't complain, mate. Not on here.
No.
Off camera, though. You wake me. I'll tee off. What are your family like? Obviously, your partner's supportive. What does the rest of the family and friends think about you taking part?
Very supportive. I come from a very loving family.
Yeah. Are they here or are they still in South Africa?
So we immigrated. So I'm pretty sure this is our 8th or 9th year in Australia. So I finished year 12, moved here, and I moved here with my mom and stepdad.
Yeah.
And they're also, as I said, very supportive. They'll be there on the night. My mom, she doesn't really drink at all, but she thinks that she'll be having a lot of champagnes that night to at least watch with 2 fingers open. So,
you know, I do say it a lot, but you know that if you're ever going to have a fight or a boxing match, you are probably more protected in this event than anything else you can imagine. Because you are deliberately matched with someone that's of the same skill set, size. No one wants to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
And who your opponent's going to be. You've trained with them for 4 weeks. So
yeah, but I mean, in general, that's been my mom on the side of the rugby field all my life. Is she's always been watching like that. So
supportive, but just terrified inside.
Yeah, she's used to it by now.
Okay. And the stepdad, he's keen.
Yes, he's keen.
He's going to be there as well?
He's going to be there, yeah. He comes from he did karate back in his day. He was a black belt, so he knows how to throw a punch or two. So he's been trying to give me a bit of advice here and there.
There's a lot of advice flying around.
Yeah.
And this is your first event as well.
Yes.
First event you've gone to. You mentioned before that Nathaniel. So here, Nathaniel, Anomaly sponsored Nathaniel.
Yeah,
that's
Anomaly
right.
DJ sponsored Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good man. I was having a chat to him it was actually surprisingly, I don't know what I was doing. He was going to get something to eat, but I was talking to him prior to the event in the Metropole foyer, and I could see the nerves. I think I could see he was nervous, but confident, which was good, but nervous as well. But no, he was a great guy, and he didn't win the fight, but he's very gracious, very respectful in defeat as well.
Was it a close fight?
I think it was. The guy he was fighting, I did have that up before. Hang on. Luke Dos Santos. Luke Dos Santos, I think, was definitely had to be one of the better fighters. Very smooth, just a very, very hard to hit.
Okay.
Just excellent movement, and I thought Nathaniel had a huge job. He was probably one of the best fighters in that group. I remember that year, but Nathaniel can hold his head high. Did a great job.
Oh, good.
So, do you know anyone else that's fought in any of these before?
No. Back in the day, I did know one person, but they did the I think it's the RQCC
the rival one.
Yes.
The rival. I got no dramas with the RQCC.
I actually wanted to do that. I asked my current company if they would sponsor me. It just wasn't the right time. This was last year to do RQCC, and it never worked out. So when I got a message from Anomaly QN to say, "Hey, by the way, do you want to enter and try and do this?" I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Like the stars are just aligned. So, but what's the actual difference? Is there any difference between this and RQCC?
Ask Glenn.
Okay.
I'll once we're finished, I'll write that in. We'll come back to that once we've finished this conversation.
Okay.
I went to the RQCC just for a look. The last one, the one I had in October. It's funny. It's the same concept, but it is very different.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into better or worse. I'm just going to say different. But ask Glenn. Go on. I dare you.
Okay.
He has some very strong opinions about some things.
Okay.
Do you? I think I asked you before. You don't know what team you're on?
No.
I know it's a big call to make in case you pick one team and then you go on the other. But the two coaching styles are very different. You've got, I guess, Craig and Nigel, who are very technical very good. And then you've got Glenn and Chris, who also are extremely good coaches, but a very different style. Very much a come forward, aggressive, trying to finish the fight kind of style.
What do the stats look like? What's the win ratio between red and blue?
I'm glad you asked that, because I went through, we used to have a Wikipedia page with all of this on, and then someone went onto it and made some, because anyone can edit Wikipedia.
Yes.
Someone tried to throw in a few jokes in there, and we lost the whole page.
Oh, okay.
And that took me a month to set up. It was a nightmare. I've got the results of every fight. There's no footage. I cannot find. There's got to be somewhere. There's no footage of the first one.
Okay.
First PCR. So these are all the results here. So that's like 1-0. So PCR 2, Blue ended up winning 8-4 with 1 draw. So at a guess, without knowing what happened at the first PCR, at a guess, what's there been? So there's been 12. So there's been 11 events, 15. Oh no, so there's been 150 fights. The difference would have to be like 2 or 3.
Wow, it's close.
Very close.
Jeez, like.
I think it was at PCR 10, I think it was even after PCR 10 or something. And then Blue pulled ahead at PCR 11 with that 11-2. And then Nige struck back with a 9-6 on the last one. So it's anyone's. It's anyone's. If there was an absolute one-sided whitewash, which I think it's possible, but virtually impossible, it just won't happen. I don't think it'll happen. Glenn and Nigel say different, but I don't think it'll happen. I think that'll probably push a team ahead. But until I've got the results of that first one, and also PCR 4 Fight 1, there's no footage of that. It's weird. It's just like this one random thing. All the fights are up on YouTube anyway, if you want to have a watch. There's some funny ones. Go back, have a look at the old ones. Check out the cardio on some of the boys in the old ones. It is. It's not great. It's not great. Opponents. Who do you think? Is there anyone? Oh, you haven't even told me what team. What team you reckon you're looking at going into?
I don't know. I just, in general, for me, it's whoever can give me the best advice to make me a better fighter.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that I am more of an aggressive fighter in general.
Yeah. So maybe a bit more suited to Blue,
which is in my detriment sometimes, because I get hit with like pot shots because I'm always moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Maybe if you've got that aggression, but now Nige can help you with. They're both good coaches.
Yeah.
They'll both teach you what you need. When I say they're different coaches, they are different, but they will enhance your style. Like he's not going to, if you're a counter striker and you're a points fighter and you go on Blue team, Glenn's not going to turn around and say to you, all right, now you're just going to come forward and throw haymakers.
Yeah.
They've both got the ability to just harness whatever your style is.
Yeah.
And then once they've got your opponent, they obviously have a look at your opponent and you work out the best way to counter them.
Yeah.
A few southpaws in that group.
It's quite a few.
It is, isn't it? It's
Wow.
about 4 or 5.
There's quite a few, yeah.
That's going to make it hard.
The hardest thing for me is holding the pads for them, because it's the opposite way.
Oh, it will be. That's an art. Holding the pads is a real art, isn't it?
It's the worst. I can't stand it. To be honest with you, I really cannot stand it. Even hitting them, I don't like doing it.
You prefer the bags?
Prefer the bags, and I prefer sparring. I quite like sparring. It's
Really?
more of like a real in-action thing that you can do.
And you go all right holding back a little bit in sparring, like only going 50%?
Funny you say that. It was actually something I was thinking about. When we first started sparring, I think it was before training, we were just messing around, and Will was there.
Will Cleggett. Big Pappy. He's fighting on the 14th, everyone.
Yeah, what a weapon that guy as well.
He's fought twice in the PCR. He fought main event at, when was it? It was PCR 9. He fought Tom Pellizzari. I mispronounced that the other day. So he fought at PCR 9. I'm pretty sure he fought like in PCR 5 as well. Will Cleggett, there he did. He lost to Brad Triplett back then. So he's fought twice. He is so much better now than I don't know what he has done since PCR 9, but that is not the same fighter.
He's very smooth. Very smooth.
Very good. He wants it.
Yeah, he wants it. I actually got in the ring with him. I think I was like his 11th round. This guy was absolutely finished and tired, and I'd not really done like much sparring before, and obviously when you get tired and the punches come through a bit harder because the volume is not as much, and I was like, oh well, that's like is that the power that people are hitting with? And then a few other people got in the ring, and then I started getting a bit. I don't think I was giving 50%. It was probably more like 80%, but I thought that's what sparring was.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, I've learned now that 50. I know what power I should hit with in sparring, but I've had to learn that over like the last couple of trainings.
Yeah.
But I'm at a good spot now. I'm confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a mouth guard?
Got a mouth guard.
You got some nice teeth on here. You don't want anything. We got a Gobsmack small mouth guard, major sponsor, Gobsmacked. It is an art. It's not just the boxing for you guys. It's the pad holding. It's the learning how to go hard but not too hard. Have you seen anyone go a little bit too hard at training?
No, everyone's pretty good.
That's a good answer.
Everyone's respectful.
We've seen one or two. Someone's given a bit too hard.
Really?
I don't think there's any venom or any malice in it. I think it's just someone's just not expecting and maybe copped a little one on the end of the nose. But what you don't want is broken. We had a year where I think 3 of the fighters broke their ribs. Someone's thrown a body shot and 3 of the fighters got broken ribs.
From the same guy?
I don't think so. That was back at... Which one was that? I think that was actually PCR 10. I'll be honest. I think it was around there, 10 or 11. It wasn't that long ago, and they were just dropping like flies, all early as well, which you just don't want to do. And definitely the people that did it felt terrible afterwards because you have a look, and now you're down to the 30 because you started with 32, now you're down to 30. So 15 fights. If someone does get injured, then it's not like someone else is going to be able to step in.
Yeah.
They may, if something happens soon, they may have a chance of finding a replacement, but more than likely they're not going to. So someone's going to miss out and have to wait 12 months to get back in there. It's a big ask.
At the moment.
Yeah, if someone gets injured, obviously the fight's off, so their opponent, like just for example, if you were fighting someone like James and he got hurt, now you don't have an opponent.
I see what you're saying.
So you have to miss out.
Has anyone dropped out?
2. We started with 32 people.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
People had dropped out.
Yeah, there was someone, I think someone came to one session and something happened with work and he had to pull out. And Rob Kelly, remember Rob Kelly? I think Rob got hurt. He was a great guy. Like, he was very keen and was training hard, and I don't actually know what happened, but I think he may have got injured.
Oh, yes.
That's not the best photo of him.
He was actually quite sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. I thought he'd obviously boxed before. Why is this thing not opening? Come on.
So he's no longer in, he's out.
No. There we go. That's Rob Kelly. Nice guy. Yeah. I'm not too sure, but I am confident. I spoke to Glenn. I'm pretty confident he is now going to be in the next one.
I see.
PCR 14. So he's going to get 12 months worth of practice in.
So there's no room for injuries, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Hopefully no one gets injured. Where's that list here? Hopefully no one gets injured, because if they do and they can't find a replacement. Before we've had, I think it was that one where those people got the broken ribs, they called in, they managed to get, I think, 4 replacement fighters, like guys that have done it previously. And I think actually all of them lost as well, the replacements. But they'll do what they can. So there you go. So you got 22 guys. There we go, down there. And you've got 8 girls.
Okay.
So you got, what's that? 11 guys fighting and 4 girls fighting. You got to look at the girls. There's only 4 fights. If one of those gets hurt, got to protect those girls. Everyone go easy on the girls. I don't want any of those girls to get injured. The girls' fights are the most popular. You go on YouTube, girls' fights 3-1. They'll be watched over the guys' fights.
The girls are very good this year. Not that I know what previous years have looked like, but I'm extremely impressed. Like, I was doing some sparring drills with some of them, and wow, very good. Very good. Very good.
They seem to, maybe it's because there's fewer of them and they stand out more, but the progression of the females for me is always more than the guys. Like, I'm sure there are guys that get way better, but over the last few years, you've seen girls that have never fought before and then, turn up on the night. and after Sunday is when, if they've improved in these first 4 weeks, that's going to be nothing to what they do in the next 4. The next 4 is where they get good.
Why do you think that there's such a big turn up? In skills after this weekend?
I think it may be a combination of less people, because you train obviously with your team.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more one-on-one. Like the first 4 weeks really is to make sure you want to do it. It's to make sure you're a good fit, and it's to find you a suitable opponent. But you start going there with your team, and you become very loyal to that team, and you're not, as you're saying, you're not just representing you, you're representing the Blues or the Reds. And everyone that's come, just for example, if you got in a blue team, people like Mongy and Justin Abernathy and all that, they will be in your ear the whole time just telling you what it means. And it does, and it's a pride thing.
Okay.
And you'll have your opponent. So now, even though you know you're fighting, you don't know who you're going to be fighting. And I think knowing who your opponent's going to be, you're going to just step up. Yeah. You're going to be thinking about it like all the time. What's this person doing? And you got to train. You only have to train harder than one person now. You go, I'm going to have to train harder than 21 other people because I could be fighting them.
Yeah, it's very
true.
Now,
you go, what's James doing? I don't know. Just fighting James. That's the only one I can think of. But you think, what's your opponent doing? And if they're training hard, you just got to train the house down every single time. Just don't get injured.
Yeah, I think that's what's really good. Well, something that I've picked up is everyone at training wants to be there. Like everyone shows up for training and they all give it everything.
Oh, yeah.
How does that compare to previous years? Do you think there's a difference?
I think it changed. Let's go back on this list here. It is not. When I first started with this, it's not the same, and that isn't having a go at anyone that fought in 6, 7 got cancelled because of COVID, like 6 or 8, 6, 7 or 8. I think it was about at probably number 9 is when it was different. Like the trainings turned into like just madness and just hype machines. And you had a guy that fought. His name was Trent Peterson. He fought for the red team. And he was one to go. Michael Walden reminds me of him in a way where someone comes in and you can't feel bad when this guy's around because he just gets everyone fired up and the music's going and it's just a great place to be. And I think that comes down to why it's changed is because of the commitment. Like you go back and I'll have a look at some of these names on PCR 6. I'll name them. I don't care. Timmy D'Souza and Brad McElroy, they were both mates. They were 5'4". I think Timmy D'Souza still holds a record for the most amount of alcohol drunk during a PCR campaign with an average of 10 beers a day. I think people the standard is through the roof compared to how it used to be.
Yeah.
Not saying there weren't any good boxers in the early days, but as a whole, the standard is through the roof. And everyone's committed. Everyone is there. Well, we used to go there and there used to be, in the early days, I used to see 7, 8 people at training,
Okay.
And I go, well, there's always an excuse not to be there. I think that's it. I think it's the commitment. Everyone's switched on now. And there's no one being lazy. Obviously don't have your list there, but there's no one.
I think it's just the thought that like on the night you can't hide away. No. It's like you on display, and if you haven't put in the right effort,
it'll show.
You're gonna get exposed. Versus like in a rugby match, you can sit on the wing and
not team
really
sport.
have to do anything.
Yeah,
I think maybe that's why people are working so hard or so dedicated.
Maybe. I think if you've been to an event prior, maybe it's a good thing that you haven't been because you don't know what you're in for. Yeah. There's people that, the young lady Claire that comes down to help you. She's a gun, by the way. How good is she?
She's very good. Very, very good.
Vicious. She's she's the kind of girl that you look at and you think she's a nice young lady, but she'd piece you up really quickly. Oh, I'd hate to fight her. She would destroy me. Geez. She was telling me that she fought professionally, and even she hasn't performed on a stage like this and an event like this. There's people that have had, 10 amateur fights that have only ever fought in front of 150, 200 people. And your first fight is a black tie. The black tie, whoever thought of black tie event, that was just genius. That's what changes everything. I don't know who that was. Probably Glenn. Glenn will claim it. I reckon it's Nige. And you guys, your boxing debut is in front of more than 1,000 people, all dressed well. Yeah, everyone's charged. It's an honour, and I think a lot of people do realise it. But it is an honour to be able to even have been picked for this event, because we did have a lot of applicants. See if I can get the numbers up here. But I don't know, how do you feel about? Have you been to this ballroom? Like not when the PCR on, but have you actually seen the location?
No, never.
Well, it's the Crown. Obviously it's the Crown Towers.
I've seen. I did watch some of the YouTube videos or like the promo from the previous year, so I have like a small indication of what to expect. But obviously on
it doesn't do it justice. Doesn't do it justice. And when you get there early and you have a look in the room and it all becomes real and everyone's nervous. Yeah, I do it. I'm not even fighting. I get nervous.
Fuck.
Don't say the number. That's how many applicants you had there.
Wow.
Yeah. See, so it's not like you're a walk-up start anyone. To have got picked, that's almost, what is that? I can't, there's my maths for me. 1 in 8 get picked.
Wow.
So it's
very good.
It is. And I think you will appreciate it on the night. So it's good. It's a good event. How many days have we got to go? Do we know? Hang on, let's have a look. I did put a timer in there. That was my idea. Great. 31 days.
1 month.
Do you remember when I messaged you guys? It was 59 days. It felt like just the other day. Yeah. And everyone was like, we got tons of time. You did not have tons of time.
No. These weeks have gone by so quickly. It's unbelievable.
So you're about halfway. Halfway.
Yeah.
That is mad.
Jeez.
I know. I got 10 more of you people to talk to. Oh my God.
I feel so skinny. Like when I initially went into this, I was weighing 92 kgs.
Really?
I'm down at about 84 now.
By choice, or just because of how much you're training?
Yeah, just training and not really gymming at all.
How do you feel?
Really
good?
Really good. Yeah.
Really good.
I think that this is probably where this is the weight that I should be at comfortably.
Yeah.
So
off the alcohol as well.
Completely.
Yeah. Do you enjoy a drink normally?
I love a beer. Specifically a Peroni. So as soon as we finish this or on the night, I will be finding about 10
Peroni.
Yeah.
I don't know if they serve. I don't know what beers that they serve on the night. Actually, that does ring a bell. Maybe they do serve Peronis on the night.
It's meant to be then.
It's meant to be. Just use a belt to open it. There we go. Imagine that. Have you seen the belts?
No.
They're good.
They're good?
Yeah, they're good. They're an actual belt.
How do they work? Like, do they have specific sponsors on them? Or
I've got a UFC belt under there, and it's similar to that in the sense of it's weight, and it's not like a Kmart WWE belt or anything like that. It's a real belt.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
And you get to keep it?
You get to keep it.
Oh, shit. Only if you win.
Yeah. I think you get a medal, which is still good. It's still good, but it's not a belt.
Okay.
And then you get to wear the belt all night. And
the next day?
And the next day. Oh, yeah, that pool shindig. Yeah,
what happens on that day?
On the Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, most people haven't been to bed yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is, I'm not too sure what's been sorted in relation to what happens after the event, but I think they want to give, speaking of Nige, they want to give the people that attend the best possible experience, and it's almost like we could cram in another fight, or we could give everyone more time on the dance floor, more time for the after party, because the last thing he wants to say is the last fight, all right, see everyone. It's not. It sort of kicks into another gear once everything's done, and they've got a DJ and a big dance floor.
Yeah. So
everyone's going, you should get up there and DJ, do a bit of your stuff, do a bit of that.
Yeah.
That's what we love.
I'll bring my USB with.
Yeah. So then people go out. Someone may or may not have hired the big penthouse suite at the Metropole.
Oh, someone has done that.
I'm not saying that it has happened. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but it may have happened. And I think, I hope I get this right, I think it's 600 square metres.
Wow.
Yes, it's big. It's big in this house.
Is that the Metropole one?
The next to it.
Okay.
So you got the Towers, you got the Metropole, and you got the Promenade.
Okay.
So the Promenade's sort of the cheapest one of it all.
Yeah.
Metropole's the original one, which is still a good place. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If you got 600 square meters in one of the suites.
Wow. I think that's the one that Drickus actually had when he was here for the UFC.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right.
The
I
Metropole
wonder if Drickus
suite.
has left anything in there. Maybe his belt. I can get my hands on it. Yeah, and then I think I'm just having a guess that it's going to wrap up. The after party is going to go berserk. It's going to get to about 1 o'clock. Everyone may or may not retire to the Metropole. Good luck getting up in that lift with all those people. And then it'll kick on till about 6 o'clock in the morning. Then people will go down, have breakfast, and then get in the pool.
Okay.
That's what I reckon is going to happen.
Sounds lovely.
And there has been a lot of people take their belts into the pool.
Okay.
Justin Abernathy, I still think he has his on, and he won back at PCR 10. So just rubbing it in. Chris Dodge got robbed, by the way. No, he didn't. No, that was a very close fight. Oh, there's been some good fights over the years. So good. Let's get back in this. We've been going 2 hours, mate.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'm in no rush today.
Okay.
I just know you are. Oh, no, I know you're not, but I could talk forever about this stuff. And Abby cancelled tomorrow. So, classic Abby. She's too busy on a boat taking selfies, probably. Your walkout music, that's what I was going to get on. So let me get up something here. Walkout music. This is going to surprise me. I was trying to picture what I know you do, like maybe a bit of DJ drum and bass, that kind of stuff. Do you have a specific walkout song for me?
I actually picked it.
If you want to keep it a secret, that's perfectly fine as well. Don't feel pressured by me.
You know what? I'll keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret.
That's it. You know what? Good on you. Good on you for keeping a secret. A lot of people just throw them out at me. But if you want to, is it something? Does it mean something to you? The song? Is it one that gets you pumped?
It's okay. I'll give you an indication of what it's from a famous movie, and it's like a remixed version of the
I
song.
like it already.
I don't think that anyone would have picked it for their walkout song.
I think, is there a list here of... I'll see if your walkout music's on here. I don't think it is. No, it's not. Is it walkout on here?
I sent it yesterday.
Oh, okay. No, it definitely won't be updated.
Okay.
Jeez, this thing will take 6 months to be updated with the way it's going. Okay, so is it the song that gets you pumped?
It wasn't something that I was thinking of. I had a song originally that I thought of, and then I just wanted to get a backup song, and I heard this, and I was like, "Whoa, that gives me goosebumps."
Oh, that's what you need.
It makes me feel really good and pumped up.
nice.
So,
Are you listening to it a lot, or are you depriving yourself of it so it just hits that bit harder on the day?
I listened to it this morning in the car, and it was really good.
Still good?
Still good.
Still good. What's the stereo system like on the Audi?
It's so crazy. So in that Audi, I didn't know this, but it doesn't have a spare wheel. It's actually got a subwoofer.
That's normal now, isn't it, with cars?
know.
But why is that?
I don't know.
Do they give you a can of something to fill the tyre with or some
Yeah,
shit?
it comes with a puncture repair kit and like a compressor, so you fill the tyre with this glue and pump it up, and it's good to go.
Surely I could just put a tyre in there. Anyway, let's
So
not get into that.
There's no tyre because there's a subwoofer where the
Subby,
tyre is. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing just buzzes, does it?
It's pretty hardcore.
That's what I like. How bad is it when you got a car that's got a horrible sound system in it?
Terrible.
Remember that?
What's it like in your new car?
Surprisingly good. You got to understand what I've been driving for the first 30 years of my driving life, probably more than 30 years. I've driven some very, very average cars. Okay. I'm actually just happy a lot of my cars used to start. I used to take that as a win. I'm like, I'm not touching this stereo system because the electrics in this car can shit itself at any time. So I can't fault that car. It's loud, but it's not... Well, let's just say the speaker goes up to 62, like on the dial. If it went to 90, I'd be a bit happier.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean.
As long as the quality, a car can doff, but what's the quality like?
It's sharp. I have given it a bit of bass. I have turned the bass up to 2, and I've dropped the treble by 1, and that seems to be the sweet spot.
Okay.
It's the type of music that I like, though. I like sort of like more Oasis and 90s, sort of a bit more grunge music.
Okay.
So it suits a little bit better.
Okay.
There's an art form to this stuff. Right? And have you got a nickname? Have you got a nickname or a fight name?
That's Safa.
That's Safa.
That's Safa.
I'm going to struggle saying that. I'm going to be uncomfortable. No, I'll have to have, as long as I've got it written on a bit of paper saying, Brad, this is one pass to use the word Safa, and then I'll be fine.
The Your Shot thing that I did, that's how they introduced me. So that's Safa.
Okay.
That was my DJ name. I'm going to stick with it. It did me well at that competition. So
I'll have to get a second opinion before I'm careful, and just in case it does offend someone. So it's Jarryd the Safa Barnard is how you say it.
That Safa Barnard.
That Safa, not the Safa. That Safa.
Yeah.
That Safa.
Yeah.
That sounds even worse.
I'm that Safa.
Who are you talking to? Are you talking to that Safa? It sounds worse than just Safa.
Or that Safa DJ. Who's that Safa DJ?
Okay, that's going to be tough, whatever we use.
No, I don't mind. Whatever.
Okay. Well, you're only... Go on by my website here. We'll go on the PCR, not mine. You're only 31 days, 12 hours, 11 minutes away. Halfway through. Halfway through on Sunday. Oh, it's coming around. You pumped?
I'm absolutely pumped. I'm so excited. I'm just more focused than anything at the moment. So.
Okay. It'll be a good day down there on Sunday. I do look forward to it because you'll see the shit talk start the second those teams are named.
Okay.
Actually, I'll take that back. I think you may get a phone call on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Maybe. I don't know whether that's true. They did that one year. Maybe there was a reason they did it. But I think that people may know on Saturday. But don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. So you get tonight. You get it can marinate overnight.
I've always wondered, like when I watch the UFC press conference, I've always wondered what kind of fighter I'd be, and whether I'd be like a shit talker or
got a shit talk,
the respectful, quiet guy, and then show up on the night and bang.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
See
how I feel.
Just unleash on that. The weigh-ins are pretty cool as well. The weigh-ins is where like a lot of, but the good thing is there's no ill feelings.
Okay.
And you can talk to your opponent. Like in the next 4 weeks, you'll probably have conversations with your opponent. You know, just saying, listen, let me win, and we'll just put the house on just dodgy bookie at the back. No, don't do that. There's no betting on the Perth Corporate Rumble. No official betting. There is a bit at our table, but yeah, I can't pick the winners either. That's how close it is.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting on about maybe 40%.
Okay.
Which is not good.
It's like the UFC. I just bet on the person that I don't want to win.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't bet with my head. It's always with my heart.
Yeah.
Always pick Drakus.
Yeah.
Good old Drakus. That's about it, mate.
Cool.
We've just clicked over 2 hours and 6 minutes. I'll edit this bad boy up. We should get 2 hours of quality content. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Mate, I want to wish you all the best for the last 31 days. Find out in about 3-4 days what team you're going to be on. Whichever team you are on, I'm sure you'll do well. I'm sure once you find out who your opponent is, it'll be good times ahead. So, but I appreciate you coming in here on a Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you at training on Sunday.
Cheers. Thank you.